recent satellite imagery shows China may be building a high-frequency radar system in the South China Sea.
China gray zone activities in the South China Sea, where they have established unilaterally different types of structures.
China has developed a new underwater surveillance network to help its submarines get a stronger lock on targets while protecting the nation's interests.
In modern naval warfare, the most powerful weapon has always been silence. The ability of a nuclear submarine to move undetected, a ghost in the deep, has been America's ultimate strategic trump card for over half a century. What if that silence could be broken? What if the very depths of the ocean could be made transparent? China is building something that aims to do just that. Not with more ships or more planes, but with an invisible wall on the ocean floor. Welcome back to Global Strategic Analysis. Today, we are not just talking about a sensor network. We are decoding China's underwater Great Wall, a monumental project combining fixed sensors, autonomous drones, and artificial intelligence. We will break down how this system threatens to neutralize America's most critical military advantage and permanently redraw the map of maritime power. For decades, hunting submarines has been a painstaking game of cat and mouse. The cat has always been a combination of highly specialized and incredibly expensive assets. We relied on the sharp ears of surface warships, dragging long tails of sophisticated listening devices called towed array sonars. We depended on maritime patrol aircraft like the P-8 Poseidon, seeding the ocean with disposable microphones, or sonobuoys, hoping for a faint echo of a hostile vessel. But this method has always been plagued by a fundamental problem: the tyranny of distance and physics. The ocean is enormous, deep, and acoustically complex. Sound behaves in unpredictable ways, bending with temperature and salinity. A submarine commander, skilled in the art of stealth, can use these very layers to disappear. Our ASW posture has been reactive and temporary. We can only search small patches of this immense battle space at any given time. A submarine, by its very nature, only needs to find one gap to slip through. We have to be lucky all the time. They only have to be lucky once. This creates a dangerous strategic gap, a vulnerability that an ambitious power could exploit. And this is where China's grand, audacious answer comes into play. The underwater Great Wall, officially known as the Underwater Surveillance System. This is not a single weapon, but a living, breathing ecosystem of undersea dominance. First, the backbone, a massive, fixed network of listening posts. These are arrays of hydrophones, magnetic anomaly detectors, and water pressure sensors, connected by thousands of kilometers of fiber optic cable, anchored to the seabed in strategic choke points like the Bashi Channel and the waters of the South China Sea. Unlike a temporary sonobuoy, this system is permanent. It is always on, always listening. But fixed sensors are only the first layer. The data they collect is fused and analyzed by powerful AI. The moment an anomaly is detected, the unique sound signature of a Virginia-class submarine, the faint magnetic disturbance it creates. The system doesn't just send an alert, it acts. This is the second layer, autonomous hunters. China has been developing a vast fleet of UUVs, some designed for long-endurance surveillance, others as fast attack interceptors. Once the main grid gets a scent, it dispatches these robotic bloodhounds to find the source. They don't need to return to base. They can be tasked in real time. They can swarm a target, sharing data amongst themselves, creating a persistent, inescapable net of surveillance. This isn't just a wall, it's a sentient spider's web. The strategic impact of this system is a seismic event in naval warfare. It seeks to achieve what was once thought impossible, to make the oceans transparent, and in doing so, to rob America of its most potent advantage. Imagine a crisis over Taiwan. The president orders a flight of U.S. nuclear-powered attack submarines into the Philippine Sea to deter aggression and hold Chinese naval assets at risk. This is the classic playbook. But in this new reality, the playbook is obsolete. The moment the American submarine enters the area of operations, its presence is known. Not just its presence, but its class, its likely heading, and its speed. The hunter becomes the hunted. The submarine is no longer a ghost. It's a target on a map. Its commander is now faced with a terrible choice: abort the mission or fight for survival against a system that knows exactly where it is. The element of surprise, the very foundation of submarine warfare, is gone. China has turned the sea into a home field advantage, transforming a strategic asset into a liability. By ringing the South China Sea with this system, Beijing is not just building a defense. It is creating an absolute no-go zone, a key component of its A2AD strategy. It effectively locks out the U.S. Navy's submarine fleet from one of the most strategically vital waterways on the planet. This neutralizes our ability to project power, protect shipping lanes, and defend our allies like the Philippines. It is a technological fortress that makes China the undisputed master of its near seas. While the U.S. pioneered undersea surveillance with its Cold War SOSUS network, that system was designed for the deep, quiet waters of the North Atlantic to track loud Soviet subs. China's system is built for the noisy, complex, and shallow littoral waters of modern conflict. While the U.S. is investing heavily in its own UUVs and the new Virginia Block 5 submarines, we are now forced to play catch-up, designing countermeasures to a system that is already being deployed. A recent Pentagon report highlighted the stunning pace of Chinese shipbuilding. That same pace is now being applied beneath the waves, creating a capability gap that will be incredibly difficult to close. And this is only the current generation. The future evolution of this system is even more alarming. We are talking about incorporating advanced machine learning that can predict a submarine's likely evasion tactics. We are talking about fully autonomous, armed UUVs that are not just hunters, but killers, authorized to engage targets without a human in the loop. Imagine underwater energy and data hubs, as recently announced in commercial projects like the one in Shanghai, which could allow these drones to operate for months or even years without returning to port. The wall will become a self-sustaining, self-repairing, and self-defending organism. This isn't just about the South China Sea anymore. The expertise and technology being perfected here could one day be exported or deployed along vital global sea lanes, challenging American naval dominance across the globe. In short, China is not just building sensors and drones, it is building a transparent ocean. The invisible undersea wall is a strategic game changer that directly attacks the core pillar of American naval might, the stealth of its submarine force. It is a quiet, patient, and methodical effort to make vast swaths of the ocean untenable for its rivals. The next great power conflict may not be decided by what happens on the surface, but by who controls the dark, silent world beneath. For decades, we owned that domain. That ownership is now being fundamentally challenged. What do you think? Can American technology develop a counter to this invisible wall? Or has the age of the stealth submarine come to an end? Share your strategic assessment in the comments below. If you believe this analysis is critical to understanding the challenges we face, please like this video and subscribe to Global Strategic Analysis. Your engagement helps us continue to shine a light on the developing threats that will define the 21st century. Be aware. Be prepared.